Hey Vikings fans, Tyler here to talk to you about Pick and Shovelware and pickandshovelware.com. T-shirts, sweatshirts, all kinds of fun, different Minnesota sports clothing items and apparel options. We got a deal going with them right now where if you buy whatever you want, enter the promo code Bleeding Purple, all one word, and you will get free shipping. That is promo code Bleeding Purple, pickandshovelware.com. Make sure you go ahead and check it out. Okay, let's start the show. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome into Bleeding Purple, a podcast about the Minnesota Vikings. My name is Tyler Haig. I am joined, as always, by Mr. Adam Patrick. Hello, good sir. How are you?
What's up? Pretty happy. We talked about it yesterday, but the Vikings got a win to begin the season.
Doesn't matter how they got there. A win is a win.
Not in the NFL. Doesn't matter.
Win is a win. So they win 24-16 against San Francisco. Lots of good things happened. Lots of not so awesome things happened too. Let's focus on the good for now, the positives, the optimism. Who was your offensive MVP from that game? MVP from that game?
He didn't have a touchdown, but I'd probably go with Adam Thielen because he had over 100 yards receiving, had 6 catches. He just was reliable when Cousins needed to find somebody on the field when some other routes were covered or broke down. He just looked for Thielen and found him. I would even go Cousins. He looked good. He tossed 2 touchdowns, didn't throw any picks. He took a couple sacks. There was a couple times where he held onto the ball, maybe a little too long. But
I agree with that.
He had that, needle threading throw to Diggs for the touchdown. Same thing with the Kyle Rudolph touchdown. He put the ball only really where they could get it, and those throws are exactly why the Vikings paid $84 million to.
Dude, you're just taking my whole argument here. Good.
Sign him. And
you're exactly right, though. That is exactly what he's here to do: is to make throws like that and win games like that. Don't turn the ball over. Make the good throw. Touchdowns. You only need a couple 3. You're good.
He almost had a pick 6.
He did.
But he did. But he did.
That's true. He did. I mean, you can make a case for a bunch of different guys. I was going to say Keenum. I was going to say Kirk Cousins, but you took all of my points that I was going to say, like literally just then. It was every single thing I was going to say.
Tom Compton?
No, it's not Tom Compton. I'm going to give him an award a little bit later today. But not this one. You can make a case for a bunch of different guys. I thought Diggs looked really good. I haven't rewatched it yet, so I don't know how often Sherman was on him, but Sherman seemed to be on him for all of the Twitter highlights that I'm scrolling through.
He wasn't on him. I don't believe he was on him for the touchdown catch.
Yes, I think you are correct there. And I don't know how much time he spent
but
on
that was really good coverage.
Yeah, Diggs looked good. I could give my MVP to Diggs, caught a touchdown. Didn't have, a ton of, but that is, again, that's what you're paying him for, is to catch
touchdowns.
Yes, catch touchdowns. That's what he did. That's what he did. You're paying Cousins to not turn the ball over and throw touchdowns. He did those things. Yep. These are good. Yeah, you could give the MVP on offense to a bunch of different guys. I think I would go Cousins if you were, asking me, but a lot of guys played really well. I think you could definitely make a case for Thielen. You can make a case for Diggs. Even Dalvin Cook early on looked really good. You can make a case for him
in the first half.
Well. Yeah. MVP on defense. What do you think?
Cousins' stats could have looked better.
Yes,
too, because they had 3 drops yesterday as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think it's fair to say that they left some points on the board. The Vikings did.
Especially in that last drive in the first half.
Oh my God!
Yesterday, where like they were moving the ball, Looked like they were, at least going to be able to try for a field goal, but then, for some reason they decided to throw, a screen pass in the middle of the field with,
Yes, it was a check down, and it was Kirk Cousins kind of panicked and was like, oh, there's a guy I can get it to, not thinking that it would have been so much better to just throw it at his feet, restart, you have 10 more seconds, because that was it. He tried to run it, that was the end of the half for
first
all
game,
intents and purposes.
They're still figuring things out with the offense.
It's true.
DeFilippo's still learning how to call plays pretty much with this offense. So whatever.
What grade would you give the Vikings offense from Sunday? For Sunday, excuse me.
A B. Give him a B. Just the offensive line could have been
B,
better.
Yeah, I mean, it's a solid B.
The running game could have been better. I think the passing game was pretty good.
Yes.
I think it looked pretty good, better than it has, the Vikings have seen from, Christian Ponder.
Oh my God.
I think I saw something last night where it said Kirk Cousins is officially passed Josh Freeman on the Vikings all-time
passing leader list.
So
poor Josh
that's good.
Freeman. That was too bad. Yeah, man. You could. Yeah, I mean B minus. The offensive line was not so hot, but that being said, it wasn't all of the offensive line that looked bad. It was just the one side and pretty much just the one dude who didn't.
I'll let you know more about that when we talk about it.
Okay, sounds good.
But you asked for defense.
Yes, MVP on defense.
You can go. You go. Please.
I am going to give it to...
I wonder who you're going to pick.
I'm going to give it to the rookie, Mike Hughes, because he had a touchdown in his first game. What up? He did get beat a little bit. He did look like a rookie at times. However, I think that there were several headlines that I saw that basically were saying the same thing, like kind of justified the first-round pick instead of an offensive lineman. And I think that was very important for him to do. Did you? Oh, that was you that wrote that?
I had one.
Oh,
probably somebody else did too, but I think people when they look at like, I'm not going to pay for that. I think people forget that Mike Hughes has been working on the inside, like all off season, all summer, all preseason, and he had to play a lot on the outside yesterday when Trey Waynes went out, which he didn't do at all this summer. So he didn't really, I don't know if he was too familiar with like the calls and stuff as the outside corner, but he did pretty well. He did have that pick six. I mean, you got to catch that. Garoppolo threw it right to him and he took it to the house. So you can't really ask for anything better than that.
Yeah. Was it an incredible, personal singular effort from Mike Hughes to get that score? No, not so much.
No, but I think if you look at, you can look at Trey Waynes or even Mackenzie Alexander in their rookie seasons. Would you have seen that kind of play from one of them in week one?
I don't think so. Absolutely not. Way. No.
So Mike Hughes is already like light years ahead of those two.
Definitely.
And could be their replacement. So for me, I'm going to, Harrison Smith, he seems like the obvious. He did everything yesterday.
I mean, he played pretty well.
But he probably wouldn't have been able to do as much as he did yesterday without the help of Sheldon Richardson, who just dominated on the
all
inside,
game.
Was in Garoppolo's face like all game long. He was the reason why they were able to get so much pressure. Probably, that had to do a lot with Garoppolo forcing some throws, throwing 3 picks. It
looked like the only time Garoppolo looked not good was when they were getting some heat on him. And
they got a lot of heat. I think they
and Richardson was a huge part of that. Yeah, huge part of that.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So, he looked good.
Were you surprised at all that they didn't try and trap him? I thought for sure after the Seattle preseason game when they ran that trap on Sheldon Richardson and it was like really effective like 3 times, I thought for sure week 1 we were going to see a bunch of traps going there, but I didn't notice any. Yeah. But I mean, I wouldn't mess with him either. I'd run away from him.
The 49ers have to be good at doing that, and then the Vikings probably knew that somebody might try and do that again, so they were probably more prepared for something like that, which is probably why Harrison Smith was up on the line a bunch, making sure that they weren't going to do that.
For sure, and it's also would be fair to say that the Vikings were not prepared for that type of
They
running
also
attack
played,
in a preseason game.
They also played their second team defensive line like more than I thought they would yesterday. Like they gave the all 4 defensive linemen like a break a couple times during the game, which I thought was interesting because I don't think we haven't really seen that from a Mike Zimmer defense where usually it's like one or two guys maybe gets a couple snaps in their game, but that was like the whole unit. So I think we're trying to, make sure that their depth is pretty good on the defensive line this year.
Yeah, well, and they said they were going to try and do it, so it would make, I'm glad to see that they are actually implementing it. Yeah, but I think that's what I was going to say. That's the key is I bet previously Zimmer wasn't comfortable with those guys being in there, and now he's got a group of guys that he's okay shuffling.
They played well in the preseason, so give them a shot. Because, Everson Griffin, he's getting older. We're going to need somebody to replace him. He's not getting cheaper either, so.
No kidding, yeah. You have to be able to replace guys, and especially, and as we've seen,
Richardson might be gone next year.
Yeah, and especially like as we've seen, injury-wise and all that. I mean, anything can happen. These guys could all be replaced in a week or so. Yeah, I mean, we've seen it, man. We've seen it. Speaking of injuries, segue. Avion Collins, who, by the way, we are the only ones pronouncing his name correctly. I heard him.
Aviante or Aviante?
Avion. And they're all doing it wrong. Everyone's saying it wrong. The only other person that I've heard say it correctly is Arif.
Yeah.
Only other one.
Well, he's a pretty smart dude.
Yeah, and he's, well researched, so he probably saw the same TCU thing that I saw. So, I mean, it's no big deal, but I just... I do my research,
You probably brought it up to him, actually.
Yeah, I did send him a message. I don't think he ever saw it, but but Avion Collins out for, I guess we shouldn't say out for the season, but he's heading to IR for surgery on his elbow.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say he's out for the season.
Is it? Okay, good. All right.
Yeah.
Good. I just didn't want to assume.
No, yeah. Elbow injuries, for offensive linemen, not the greatest.
Not good. Not good at all.
But so that's good. The Vikings lost another offensive lineman for the year, so that's good. They already have a lot of depth on the offensive line this year, so it's not really a big big of a deal.
I mean, it definitely doesn't necessitate an immediate move from the team to bring somebody in at the same position because they need a replacement right away. Oh no, wait. They have no depth, and they definitely need somebody right now. And that guy is Brian Witzman, guard.
No idea.
So
I think he started a couple games for the Chiefs last year.
Yes, he did. Low rundown on Brian Witzman.
Okay.
For the Chiefs last year, 13 games he started at guard. They were not a bad team.
They were good at running the ball.
He went to South Dakota State. He's from Somerset, Wisconsin. So he's basically a Minnesotan. Because Somerset,
borderline Canadian.
Yeah. So he's definitely not a Packer fan growing up. And now I guarantee you he was a Packer fan growing up. But yeah, so he's on the team now. He started 13 games. That was the most encouraging thing to me about this signing was that he started 13 games last season for Kansas City, who was not a bad team. Seems good. How much is he going to play? The non-MVPs, 100% for me, go to the interior of the offensive line. They did not look very good. Obviously, injuries put them in this position, but with this guy, is he going to be like a step in and start situation? Are we assuming? I
don't think so.
You would hope not, right? You would hope not. You would hope they'd have somebody else to go in there. Compton did not look good, my friend. He did not. What
I've been hearing, I think, is when Elflein comes back, hopefully, soon, they're going to just shift Brett Jones over to left guard.
Yeah.
And put Compton on the bench. Although, when you look at stuff like Pro Football Focus and stuff, their stats, I think Compton he gave up one pressure yesterday, and he was like the top graded offensive lineman because of his run blocking. But yeah, all the sacks.
Those grades can be kind of weird. They can be kind of weird.
Really? No way.
They can be a little weird.
We've never talked about that.
Not on this program.
But yeah, I didn't really see any pressure given up by Rashad Hill. Like nothing. I didn't really see anything on the right side. It was mostly on the left side of the offensive line. But at the same time, it seemed like some of the sacks came from Kirk Cousins maybe holding on to the ball too long.
I would not disagree with that.
Also, DeForest Buckner is really good.
Really good. Yes.
So I would expect him to do that pretty much against anybody this season, no matter who it is. But yeah, I don't think you can be too happy with the performance from the inside of the Vikings offensive line. They didn't do too well running the ball. I mean, actually, Latavius Murray had a couple good runs, but overall, they could do better.
See, and I think that's something that we have to keep in mind as we're like going through and discussing this stuff, and as fans are thinking about this game, is we have now, the bar has gone up. You know, like our expectations are so much higher than they were a few years ago that it's not.
This isn't a wait and see kind of thing.
Totally. Compton would have been welcome on the team that had, you know, the TJ Clemmings and so he's not a bad football player, but if he's the weakest member of that offensive line, and that offensive line could be the reason that they lose games, we cannot have that. So it is important, but it's not like we're throwing these guys, you know, like these guys are awful. I feel like we're talking a lot of smack about Compton. I just want to clear the air here. I like Compton. He's welcome on the team. I just don't want him starting.
City?
Yeah, Compton, actually. Oh, yeah. Okay. I didn't know that.
And,
That's good.
And Serena Williams.
Yeah, Dr. Dre, too, I think.
I think they made a movie about that.
Did they?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right. They did. Oh, my God. But, yeah, Tom Compton. He did not play very well. The grades didn't show it, though. Yeah, he's my least valuable player, but I like him. That's with an asterisk, because it's like,
I've got a different
but he's
guy.
a good guy. Okay, who's yours?
Laquan Treadwell. How much did we hear, like, all preseason, training camp? Oh, he's a new player. He's a different guy. You know, he's finally, like, starting to, you know, figure out how to be an NFL player. Then he comes in and has 2 drops.
2 drops, and the one was like in front of Kyle Rudolph, where he so obviously ran the wrong route. And if you God, who tweeted it? I think Eric Thompson tweeted the angle that they showed on the Fox broadcast, where you're seeing it from like the quarterback's angle. So easy to tell that that's going to Kyle Rudolph, and he's got room in front of him to run. And Laquan
and I think I heard
it to the ground.
Was it like Ron Johnson or something talking afterwards about how like Rudolph and Treadwell were like, or Rudolph was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, he barked at him for sure after the play. Yeah.
So
man, and that's what you cannot have. This is supposed to be a breakthrough year, Laquan. We cannot have mental mistakes like this.
It's one game. I'm not giving up on him yet.
Oh, he's on a short leash.
He already is. He really is, though.
Mm-hmm.
By Thanksgiving, if this kind of stuff keeps continuing, I don't see why the Vikings should bring him back next year.
Who, if he cannot play this season, or rather, if his production,
I'd rather have Beebe out there.
That's what I was just gonna. Who do you put in behind him? And at this point, I'm like, anybody.
Oh, Brandon Zylstra.
Bring him on.
He's active. Yeah. Apparently, Stacey Coley, and they like him.
God.
He was active.
I still am upset that he made the team. Not that like I think he's like a bad player, but like he didn't do anything in the.
He didn't play.
No, at all. He had 2 catches in the first preseason game, and that was it. And he made the team over BB. Give me a break. Malarkey. I get it though. BB wasn't playing against the ones and whatever. I'm gonna get tweets about this, but yeah, Laquan Treadwell. That's a great point. He does need to step up. He was a least valuable candidate, if not the least valuable player.
Yeah, this isn't like I think I heard something today too. We're like, he's still learning the offense and stuff. I'm like, what's everyone else's excuse? Like, why do Thielen and Diggs have no trouble, learning the offense? You know, you're supposed to know the offense. You're an NFL player. It's your job. Man,
that's exactly right. As a professional football player, learning the offense. No, it shouldn't. It's not a valid excuse. Then bring your playbook home and look at it. That's your job. That's all you have to do from now until next Sunday is figure out what route you're supposed to run, and you ran the wrong one.
Yeah.
bro.
You're not going from like the triple option to like RPOs.
Yeah, like come on.
It's-
It was either, it was like you were supposed to either do like a hook or like a dig, or you were supposed to go in, or you're supposed to go out, or you're supposed to run a fly or a post or a corner. Yeah. Or not, just not get in the way. And you totally got in the way and knocked the ball to the ground. That play really frustrated me. I'm not sure if you could tell, but that play frustrated me.
No, not at all.
Okay, so we talked about the new guard. Where are you with your offensive line anxiety today? I am at about
I want to
an
wait. I want to wait until next week because I don't think the Packers' defensive or pass rush is as good as the 49ers.
Fair point.
At least on the defensive line.
It'll be a much easier game for the guys up front for the Vikings for sure.
I wouldn't say much easier, but yeah,
just not
it should be
having Buckner. It was that alone makes it an easier game for them.
Yeah, I mean they have to go against Clay Matthews. I don't know if I don't think he's the player that he used to be.
Get out of here with his hair
idiot.
looks the same, and that is all.
He was an idiot. He was an idiot last night when he made that.
Oh yeah, he almost cost his team the game.
Answer. He did almost cost his team the game. I wish he did, but he didn't because of that dumb quarterback that they have.
Oh my god.
But no, yeah, I'm not.
I
mean, I'm concerned. Obviously, we've been concerned for a long time, but I think it's a week to week kind of thing. Same thing with like Treadwell. Like, give me till Thanksgiving. We'll see how stuff goes. Get Elflein back in there. Shift Jones over to guard.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
After.
Wait until Elflein comes back to make any. We should wait until Elflein comes back to make any real judgments on what this offensive line looks like.
If after the Eagles game, which is like week 5, if after that game, things are still not good, then yeah, I would worry.
Because they have to go late at that point, though. I mean, what are they going to do? Then we just worry all season until it destroys their Super Bowl chances.
Won't be too late. It's 5 weeks. Plenty of time. Get things situated.
When is the trade deadline? Did I ever look that up? Did we ask this?
I think that's I don't know. I think that's like week 8.
We'll find out.
But yeah, the first couple of weeks they have to go against some pretty good defensive lines. They have to face the Rams and the Eagles. Those guys aren't any slouches.
I guess maybe I'm just really worried about the teams that they're playing in those first 5 games, because I feel like if things go poorly and something happens on that offensive line, they could all of a sudden be 1-4 after week 5 and be like, "What?"
They're playing the Bills, so they definitely won't be 1-4.
That's true. And I mean, God, did you see how Nathan Peterman? I just
probably should play
thoughts and prayers, Bob. Thoughts and prayers.
XFL.
That poor guy. He shouldn't even be, he shouldn't be out there, man. Like that's
there's no reason for the Bills not to play Josh Allen, and that's coming from me, who's not
the biggest Josh Allen.
Not the number one Josh Allen fan.
You are not. That's true. You've been consistent with it though, so that's good.
Yeah. But there's no reason for the Bills not to play him.
No.
Moving forward.
None whatsoever. And honestly, they should
he had like a 8.0 passer rating.
They should apologize to him.
How do you even do that? Yeah.
An 8.0 passer rating is like, they didn't even, you like broke the machine. It's like this, we can't compute how bad you are at, like, these numbers don't exist in the real rating. Like, dude, that's terrible.
We just gave you a number just so you would have one.
Yeah, exactly. But this is completely made up. Like, our gauges don't go this deep.
Did you figure it out?
No, I'm looking. I can't find it. This is the worst GD calendar ever. November, October, fall meeting, London series, all trading ends. There it is, October 30th. All trading ends for 2018 at 4 p.m. New York time, October 30th. Well, that'll be easy to remember because it's by Halloween. I'll just think of that.
That's week 8-ish, I feel like.
Oh, God, that's a great question. I don't know.
Yeah, that would have been the great. Thanks for finding the date.
I got the date for you. I don't know, man. That was hard enough. I barely even pulled that up. But anyways, so by week 5, it's too late. They're screwed if the offensive line looks terrible.
No, it's not. No, it's
That's encouraging, though, that maybe they can make a move. Although I'm not real pumped on them giving up a bunch of draft picks to like bring in some like mediocre offensive linemen, which 100% is what's going to happen if they have to make a move at that point.
I don't. Unless they're decimated, I don't think they would make a move.
Yeah, I think it would be foolish, or rather,
Because-
the move that you would make you would get swindled. It would be a Bradford again.
Kirk Cousins is on a 3-year contract. This isn't like a all or nothing kind of year. It seems like it sometimes, but
It sure does. It sure does.
they just signed all those guys to extensions and stuff. So I
that's
definitely think their window is more than just this season for a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Because realistically, well, we don't need to go through the whole roster, but who would they be losing? It's like Sheldon Richardson. That's all is like the only important piece that they would lose after next year. All right. The inevitable is here now. They're going to play Green Bay next week. Let's talk a little bit about the quarterback that plays for Green Bay, who evidently had his knee destroyed. Deshaun Kaiser, yes. Thought he looked better than Hundley.
Good job handing the ball off to Khalil Mack last night.
Mm-hmm. Also throwing the ball to Khalil Mack for a touchdown. That was really good. Yeah, dude, he was great with Khalil Mack.
I can't even walk, but I can still play better than this guy.
Real. I only need the one leg. Are you watching this game? But yeah, so Aaron Rodgers comes back, leads them. What was it, a 17-point deficit at that point? So
yeah, I didn't even watch. I was going to come in midway through the game and watch the rest, but then I saw Aaron Rodgers was hurt, and I'm like, I don't need to watch anymore.
Don't need to.
Bears are up 17-0. I checked my phone. I'm like, what?
It was awful. It was awful. I mean, in the best way if you're a fan of football. Even my girlfriend, baby mama, who is not a big football, she likes the Vikings because we watch the Vikings almost every week, but she's not a big football gal. Even he came back and threw one touchdown. She's like, "Oh no, they're gonna win, aren't they?" And I was like, "Yeah, unfortunately they are." And Aaron Rodgers did see, and I think this is the most frustrating part. He comes back, everybody knows he's gonna lead. They're gonna win. And he does.
Yeah, why does that happen?
Why does it happen? He throws a Hail Mary. Well, they're definitely going to complete this. And then they do. Why? How does he do? It's aggravating.
I don't think it's going to happen against the Vikings. I don't think so.
Have we heard anything about an MRI? Is he maybe hurt?
No, yeah, that's the weird thing. I haven't heard any updates on the knee. You think that would be must know information for
you think all three of the beat writers in Green Bay would be asking very politely about that.
But looking ahead to next week, I think might actually be more comfortable with Mike Hughes over Trey Waynes on the field. Because I think Aaron Rodgers has done pretty well when throwing in Trey Waynes' direction. If I remember correctly, Trey Waynes didn't do too hot in 2016. He did that interception.
I was going to say he was one interception away from having no career with the Vikings because it would have been a disaster after that.
I think later that year, when they were away, the Vikings were on the road against Green Bay, Rodgers lit him up again. So that's not a guy I really want to see on the field against Aaron Rodgers. So if Trey Waynes has to be rest a week. Rest that knee a little bit. Then
so be it. I wonder, and we'll never really know, but I wonder if Trey Waynes looks worse in situations specifically this, because Aaron Rodgers is going at him, because he's not trying to throw the other side, which is where Rhodes is hanging out. Is it possible that Waynes is maybe not a lot, but markedly better than Hughes, but because all we see of Waynes is him getting passes completed against him, we maybe assume, is this, I guess the question I'm trying to ask, is this a little bit of maybe backup quarterback scenario where because we don't see or haven't seen Hughes in this position, we maybe think he's going to do better than he does?
Maybe.
Because after all, this is his second week, and that's Aaron Rodgers. That alone is I'm not interested. No, thank you.
I mean,
Zone
it's a good
coverage all day.
test.
It is. I would
Good
agree
test
with
to find out what he's made of, I guess. But like we said before, Hughes has looked light years ahead of
100%.
where Waynes and Alexander was in their rookie year.
Yes.
I don't remember Mike Zimmer praising either of those two guys in the preseason, saying
Definitely
he's
not
one of the
Waynes.
best rookie corners I've ever dealt with and stuff like that. So I really wouldn't be too worried. Obviously I think Aaron Rodgers would try and test him a couple of times.
Oh, for sure.
I don't think I think the Vikings would try and make sure he wasn't covering Devontae Adams or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he can hold his own against their other receivers, which I don't even really know who they are because
What are they called?
they don't have anybody else. They have
no
Jimmy
idea.
Graham, but I think Eric Kendricks and Harrison Smith can deal with him
Yes,
pretty well.
definitely. And the last thing we want is a hobbled Trey Waynes in that position, thinking that he just has to be there because the rookie's not.
Yeah.
Because that's a disaster.
Oh, yeah.
That's bad news, Bears.
And then-
you can't have that. You got to have your healthiest humans
Yeah.
guarding.
And helping Hughes out too is the Vikings defensive line that looked ridiculous yesterday. If they can get that kind of pressure on Aaron Rodgers, which from what we saw yesterday, I'm pretty sure they can,
Looks like it's not that difficult.
that should make things a lot easier for the Vikings secondary. So I'm looking forward to it. I think I don't want to say it, but I think the Vikings have a chance to win pretty easily on Sunday.
Whoa. I don't know about that, man. It is Green Bay after all. What would you put
It is.
percentage of that Aaron Rodgers plays? Has to be 100%, right? There's
100%.
no way he's not playing in that game.
100%.
I've seen a couple of
even if
tweets
he
that
had
are
like
like, well, maybe.
a
No.
torn ACL, I'm pretty sure he'd be like, just put a brace on it. We'll be
Yeah. Also, they said it was a brace. Oh, you didn't watch the game. They were like, Aaron Rodgers has a brace on. Like, the smallest brace. The smallest, tiniest,
Must have been
thinnest
like
brace.
well, it's probably like a sleeve or something.
Yeah, it was totally his sleeve. But they were like, oh, see right here is like.
And they
the
also,
support. It's like,
they probably shot him up with they made probably like his
that for
knee.
sure happened. Yes, that
Gave him a ton of painkillers. Mm-hmm. They want to give, they want to get their players hooked on painkillers. They don't want them smoking any sort of legal plants or anything like that.
we can't have that. Just fill his knee up with that and send him back up. But remember, don't hit anyone with your head. Thanks, NFL.
Yeah.
Great encouragement.
Oh
guys.
yeah. That rule, was in effect too when Xavier Rhodes got knocked head to head on helmet Tomlin yesterday. Didn't see a call for that.
No,
Probably
lit up.
because he plays defense.
100%. He's
So-
not a quarterback. We don't care about him. We don't change rules for defensive players. Come on. Green Bay. You said you didn't watch the game. Chicago looked pretty good. Green Bay, obviously, Aaron Rodgers, real good. What do you think? I mean, you said it on defense. They just don't have a lot on defense, Green Bay. I feel like Chicago last night kind of like...
They have rookie corners.
Yeah. I feel like Chicago last night kind of young quarterbacked themselves into that
I'm
situation.
pretty sure the Vikings offense is a lot better than the Bears offense.
And wouldn't seize up the way the Bears offense did. Because they hit a point where they were like just, oh my God, let's not lose this. And you're done in the NFL. If you're,
I would say that the
calling plays
49ers defense is probably better than the Packers defense.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
I mean, we did
definitely
see
no more players on the San Francisco defense. So
we did see Stephon Diggs just like break Richard Sherman's ankles. Mm-hmm. So going against some rookie corners, I don't think he's gonna have too hard of a time.
probably not a big deal. You know,
And he seems to play. Him and Thielen seem to play very well at Lambeau.
they do. That is true.
So,
Do you
And Dalvin
want to?
Cook
Should we do
never played
predictions?
there.
You want to do a prediction right now? You sound pretty confident, Adam. It sounds like you got it all
I don't
set up.
think and the Packers have never faced Dalvin Cook, so they don't even know
They
what
don't
to
even
do
know,
with him.
man. Yeah, they don't even know. Dude, you make a pretty compelling case for a big Vikings win here, but they
I'm
have
convincing myself.
But they have
Like,
Aaron
I didn't-
Rodgers, though. But they have
Before
Aaron Rodgers.
I know, but before I started even talking, I was like, it could be close. And then more like
The more you talk,
say
the more
stuff.
you're like, wait a minute.
I don't think it's gonna be. But we could get that Kirk Cousins where people have talked about in the past where
Yeah.
he just throws some dumb passes. That could that could happen. But this is also going to be a day game in Lambeau
Yeah.
in September. It's not going to be snowing. It's not going to be cold. It's going to be
true.
rain. It's going to be just like playing pretty much in the U.S. Bank Stadium with the doors open, pretty much.
You know, man, it's as close to a normal game in Lambeau as you're going to get.
Yeah.
Damn it! It just basically depends on what can the Vikings defense do to stop Aaron Rodgers. Because if you can keep him to under 21 points,
Mike Zimmer's good against Aaron Rodgers.
He is. And we should. I don't have the stat in front of me, but
add that to the list.
What list? What?
I don't know. I thought you were keeping a list of all the reasons why it should be a blowout.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely am. Okay, I lied. I hadn't written anything down yet. But yeah, I think you're right. It might be a blowout. I wouldn't have said that before this podcast started, but you make a very compelling case.
What do the Packers have going for them besides Aaron Rodgers?
I mean, basically that's it.
Yep.
Pretty much.
I mean, that's a big it, but
yeah. Arguably the biggest it in the
last
NFL.
time Aaron Rodgers played the Vikings, he got hurt, and he's going to be going into this game getting hurt. If a certain somebody wearing a purple number 55 comes chasing after him, I don't think he's going to be fast enough to get away.
No, he's not. Not with the bum wheel that he's got now. Do you think that Anthony Barr would survive injuring him for the season again? Because those Packer fans would.
If he did, I think
like
the Vikings should. I think Rick Spielman should run onto the field and give him an extension right after that.
Just have the contract in event.
Yep.
Run right onto the field.
Here you go. It's blank.
Just
Blank
sign
check.
it out. Just sign it out.
Whatever you want.
We got this Brzezinski guy. He'll make it work. Just sign. Yeah. We'll get it. We'll get you whatever money you want. It doesn't matter. It's
I know
fine.
people don't like to talk, make light of people's injuries, but that's a factor in the game. And we're not wishing Aaron Rodgers break his neck or die on the field. But
yes.
If he suffers a broken foot or whatever to be out of the season, whoops.
We have discussed this on this show previously, and I went through it again last night because I find myself feeling very excited and happy that he's injured.
Yeah.
And it's not because I want him to get hurt or I want terrible things to happen to Aaron Rodgers, but when he doesn't play, my team has a better chance of going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
That is my happy and excitement.
You don't think everyone in the AFC is happy if Tom Brady gets hurt?
Exactly. And it's not like we're rooting for it. It doesn't make me a bad person.
Yeah. It's also part of the Vikings game. They like to, impose their will, I guess, on quarterbacks and let them know that, you can't just hang out in the pocket all afternoon.
Mm-hmm. And Aaron Rodgers will, if he's not injured. He'll just hang out in the pocket and then make amazing throws. Oh, so yeah, man, he was really good yesterday. It was disgusting. He's one of those guys that he gets on a roll and you just know. It's like watching LeBron James, where it's just like, oh God, he's gonna score again, man, and there's nothing anybody can do to stop it.
Hey, maybe we'll find out that the Bears are actually horrible this year. So.
Which is very possible. But here's Aaron Rodgers wasn't in, but man, 17 points, dude, and you couldn't.
One was a defensive touchdown though.
Yeah, that's true. It was.
So,
Khalil Mack.
I'm pretty sure the Bears offense scored 7 points.
Khalil Mack looked better than any football player I have ever seen for that half. That was honest to God, that was the most impressive thing I've seen in a very long time. Obviously, you can't do it forever in the NFL, but would you have given up 2 first-round picks to get him for your defense? I'm not saying necessarily the Vikings situation right now because they're pretty much good on defense, but you're Chicago. You have 2 first-round picks to you go get him.
Because he has proof that he's very, very, very good. You have no, guarantee that your draft picks are going to be worth getting rid of him.
Let's talk about that for a little while, because we have now hit a point in the NFL where it feels like draft picks are more important than the actual players that you take with those picks. Because should that not affect what you're like? Oh my God, it's a second round pick. This is gold. And then you have a GM who poops the bed every draft, and then what does it matter? That's not gold to you anymore.
And I also think it depends what team gets those picks.
Yeah,
if you're trading those, if it's the Browns getting those 2 first round picks, that's not a trade they should make, because they're going to mess that up every time.
Yes, you're going to screw it up every time. So don't do that, and don't bring that guy in. Because, yeah, exactly. Thank you. And I feel like it has made a definite shift where we wind up ranking these players based on what picks they would be traded for, as though you're going to nail a first-round pick that could possibly be as good as Khalil Mack.
There's a couple of guys I would probably trade 2 first-round picks for in the NFL, like Odell Beckham, Jalen Ramsey.
2 first-round picks for Odell Beckham? You're insane.
Yeah.
You're insane. No way. No way, man.
He does more. He's like a Randy Moss kind of guy, where he does more than just catch the field. Like the way that he makes a defense just center their whole game plan around him.
Bro, did you just compare Odell Beckham Jr. to Randy Moss? I know how big of a deal that is for you.
In terms of what they do to a defense that has to like game plan for them. I'm not comparing abilities and stuff like that. They're both very good.
I mean, I'll give you that. I wouldn't give up 2 first-round picks. I think my list of 2 first-round picks is like 2 players long. I don't even know who those 2 players are. But it ain't Odell Beckham. It ain't Jalen Ramsey.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers would be one of them. Even at this age. Tom Brady, I would not give 2 first-round picks.
He wants to play 5 more years.
He's too old. He's not going to be able to play 5 more years. And then you got to deal with the Tom Brady circus. At least with Aaron Rodgers for 2 first-round picks, you get 3 years about of normal guy quarterback play. And then he starts getting old, and you start getting the Hall of Fame. And what are they going to do about him?
So Aaron Rodgers and Adrian Peterson.
Yes, Adrian Peterson, who, by the way, looked pretty dang good.
No, he didn't.
He ran for a lot of yards. Did you see the stats, Adam?
26 carries. Yeah.
He is on my fantasy team.
He averaged under 4 yards a carry.
And fumbled as well, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yes. Surprise.
Of course he did.
He did have a touchdown.
I didn't see it, but I bet he missed a pass protection block too.
Probably. He actually did catch a couple balls out of the backfield.
Oh yeah, somebody was telling me that was like a higher number. That was like 6 or 7 catch.
He just looks stiff these days. Like
that's a great way to put it.
Not really fluid.
Yeah.
Just like real stoic.
Mm. Yeah, because when he was young, he would hit that high gear and it was just gliding.
And these days he has one move, which is the juke. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, just like that.
You can just visualize that it's every picture of him playing football ever is him with the ball out like.
Yeah. And, if he's still playing well after 5 weeks, sure. Come talk to me about him. But one game, he ran for 130 yards in one game last year, too. And then was out for the year after 3 games.
Oh, yeah. You're so right. He did do that.
So, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of season left.
That can be part of, I'm sure, Stephen A. or Skip Bayless or whatever is like, Adrian Peterson is back.
Yeah.
Shut up.
God, I'm sure.
Shut up, Chris Carter.
You don't know what you're talking about. I thought that was like the most honest, amazing thing to hear from like one of those talking heads on those networks was Chris Carter saying, I shouldn't have been in Miami, ridiculous. And I never would have said it out loud, but shouldn't have been there, should have retired. Adrian Peterson should not be in Washington.
Yeah. I feel like he's pretty good at keeping things pretty truthful, even when they are outrageous. He's not really one to just go out for the YouTube views or whatever, I guess.
Skip Bayless might be on the other side of that argument. Maybe. I mean, maybe.
It's the only reason he has a job.
And that guy has been doing it for...
Yeah. It's kind of embarrassing because he was like a writer. I don't know if he still is, but like an accomplished writer, and now he's just known as a...
Yeah. Well, even when he was an accomplished writer, that was still his like sports column was like Troy Aikman's gay. Stuff like that. Because that was how long he's been doing this. That was a pertinent like... I just can't. I can't even with Skip Bayless. But we were talking about former Vikings. Adrian Peterson looked okay. Other former Vikings. Case Keenum.
Yeah. Broncos win. Yeah.
Broncos win.
3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns. However.
3 interceptions.
He threw for over 300 yards. Kirk Cousins didn't do that.
That was the. I feel like that's the Case Keenum that everyone is used to. You get him for those moments where he just make something out of nothing and throw a touchdown. But then at the same time, he can shoot you in the foot and put you in situations where you could lose the game.
100%. Did he have a game last season where he threw 3 interceptions? Was Washington one where he had 3?
I think that was. That's
the only one I remember him last season where I was like, he lost that game.
What about the Panthers game? Did he throw?
Man,
I think maybe two picks in that game. I think. I feel like he did.
All of those interceptions.
He threw a really bad interception in the Saints game in the playoffs.
Yes, he did.
He threw a really bad interception in the NFC Championship.
Okay, why gotta bring up the bad stuff, bro? Yeah. So Keenum, meh. I think they made the right decision. We are pretty much on the same page on that. But
yeah, he was going against the Seahawks defense that has like Earl Thomas, and that's it.
End of list. Earl Thomas, that was all.
So yeah,
but have you seen their punter? Woo! He's got HOF written all over.
Oh. What about the Vikings' new punter?
Dixon,
he did pretty well.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a little bit. So my guy Ryan Quigley hanging out at home watching the Vikings on TV, and Wiley, whatever his name is, was it a 22-yard punt?
He did have one, I think, inside the 5. So
it was his first one. He was amped up. Everybody has good ones on their first one. Blair Walsh made his first kick too. So.
When?
But,
of his life?
I don't know if that's true. I just made that setup. But yeah, man, I'm disappointed in the punting performance. I know I maybe am a little harsh on the punters, maybe harsher than most, but it's important, man. 3 phases of the game, you gotta.
It actually is though, because of the way the Vikings play with their defense. You know, being
field position, man, it's super important.
It is.
And poor Quigley got screwed out of the special teams player of the year last year, gets screwed out of his job this year, and then this goofball goes up there and kicks a 21-yarder.
Well, Sam Bradford played like garbage yesterday too.
Yes, he did. Arizona got beat by a lot.
He looked really bad. Like he looked good for the Vikings in that one game where he played against the Saints.
Yeah.
And he doesn't look anything close to that yesterday.
He's so depressing to watch because when he's on and he's healthy, watching that guy throw a football is just, it's so good. But when he's bad, he is like watching a broken...
Yeah, but when he's on, what's that been like 3 times in his career?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I think he was once in St. Louis pretty early on, and then 1 year in Philadelphia where he looked pretty good, and then that's pretty much it. Well, he was he broke the record. He was a record breaker for the Vikings with his completion percentage. Okay. So I mean, let's give credit where credit's due. He does have a statue in front of the stadium in Oklahoma. So I mean,
what was his yards per completion that year too? That was a lot, wasn't it? High.
I mean, yeah, dude. If you want to get into like crazy analytics and whatever.
But... sorry, John Gruden.
Yeah, right. Speaking of Gruden,
watch them win tonight. By the way,
I was just going to say that. How many games do you think they're going to win this year? Because there's part of me that thinks don't count them out. They might be a playoff team. Like
the late Monday night games though are weird.
Yeah,
they're like
always weird.
They're like I feel like those are like Thursday night games, like nothing ever goes, or like London games, like we're like however well or bad these teams have played during the year has nothing to do with the result of this game.
This is a one-off game.
Look at the Vikings in 2015 when they went to play the 49ers in that late opening night game, got blown out.
That was terrible.
That was fun.
Terrible. And then not only did they get blown out, there was like no coverage after that. So we just had to listen to Trent Dilfer talk about how amazing they were.
Was it like Berman and Dilfer?
Oh, it was so bad. It was. That was the team that called it. Yeah.
And he was drooling over Colin Kaepernick.
Oh, man. And it was for like an hour they talked about how great the 49ers look. And, I mean, after that game, because the Vikings got whooped. Oh, that was brutal. I was in the hospital because my son had just been born. So I watched that in a hospital and then was so mad having to watch Trent Dilfer. And,
Well, at least you had one happy moment that day.
yeah, that was ugly. That was an ugly game. That's a life memory for me, is like angrily watching Trent Dilfer in the hospital. It was terrible. Just terrible. You're right, though. Those Thursday night games are goofy. The late Monday night games are super goofy. It wouldn't shock me if Oakland won this. How many games do you think they win this year? How many games? Put a number
5.
on it, Adam. 5?
Yep.
Oakland, 5 wins. I'm going to go Oakland gets 8 wins and
8
playoffs.
wins.
I don't know.
Are they beating anyone in their division?
What does John Gruden know that we don't know? That he's making all these moves. They paid him $100 million and he's this crazy? I just can't buy that.
He knows how to ruin a football team?
He's won a Super Bowl.
I just don't understand what his deal is.
That to me is like the weakest argument.
With Khalil Mack. Yeah. I just don't understand what his problem was. Like,
honestly, I
think today he said Khalil Mack didn't want to be there, and I'm pretty sure that's because of you, dude.
Yes, no, and I 100% think that he got in there and saw that Khalil Mack was more interested in getting his contract than he was being there with the new coach and the team. And I think that was all John Gruden needed. Peace, and they were just waiting for the best offer to happen because he's framed it in like 3 different ways now. Gruden has.
That it wasn't his decision.
Oh, it was a bit. Yeah, it wasn't my call. Oh, well, it was a money thing. We couldn't afford him. It was like, well, neither of those are true. We know that you're in charge, and we know that you have enough money.
Yeah,
had to have been you just not wanting him there. I don't know. I think the city of Oakland is suing the Raiders now too for leaving. Oh, fun.
So
that would be exciting for them.
Lots of fun stuff going on for them right now.
Real good. Is Marshawn Lynch still there though?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, good. They got that going for him. I just think Marshawn Lynch is a beacon of light in a deep, dark world. He's like my favorite football player.
If you ever need a laugh, just look up like YouTube clips of Marshawn Lynch.
They're so usually pretty good. They're so good. The video game ones where he's playing video games with Conan O'Brien, that's like the hardest I've ever laughed in my life. It's amazing. They're so funny.
Or I think he went to like Ireland or something.
Oh, God. I bet that's...
So like he was giving people Skittles.
Oh, yeah, I have seen that because he sees a guy wearing a kilt and is like, I wouldn't be able to wear that in my town that I grew up in. Oh, Marshawn Lynch. Dude.
So do we have predictions for Sunday?
Well, I mean...
Is there anything else in the NFL this week that surprised you? The Saints getting pounded.
Is unbelievable. Tampa Bay. Yeah, whoa.
I feel that's a week 1 thing, too, where I kind of feel like those kind of games tend to happen week 1, like more surprising.
You know, I will say this though, everybody all of a sudden was just assuming that the Saints had a pretty good defense and they were back. And I don't know if that defense
I didn't think the Saints were going to be that good this year.
No, I don't think the defense is good enough for them. Yes, thank you. For them to, and everybody's just like, they were like the sexy Super Bowl pick for a lot of people. It's like, dude.
Yeah, they got a year of tape on Alvin Kamara. Ingram suspended for the first 4 games. They traded for Teddy Bridgewater, which clearly means Drew Brees is not the player that he used to be. So whatever. It's week 1. Yeah. They could go 15-1.
What else was crazy? Peterman. Oh my God.
I was surprised the Bills got beat so bad.
So bad.
Like I was not expecting it to be that bad, especially against the Ravens, who are not amazing.
Yeah. Best story of the weekend, in my opinion, by a mile, is Cleveland Brown ending their losing streak, but still not winning.
Yeah, with a tie. Only they can do that. They still can't open those beer fridges.
Yes, the beer fridges are still closed because it wasn't a win.
Yeah.
It's the most Browns thing that could ever possibly happen, is for them to not lose but not win.
I was surprised the Titans lost to the Dolphins, but that was a weird game too because it was like a 4-hour weather delay.
Oh yeah, the 2 separate delays.
And then Mariota got hurt, Delaney Walker got hurt.
Did we hear anything about Mariota? Is he out or was that
I don't know, but Delaney Walker's going on IR, I think.
Oh man, that'll change things for that football team.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. Panthers offense doesn't look any different.
Yeah.
Beat the Cowboys.
Yeah, the Cowboys looked really bad. I literally think I got every pick wrong besides the Vikings.
Jaguars defense still good. Yeah.
San Diego LA with the Chargers. Hey,
Oh, the
man.
Chiefs.
Hey.
It's only been 2 years.
I have been alive
the
for
Chiefs offense,
32
that was
years,
good.
so I am 29 years worth of practice on San Diego. I can't just flip that switch over a 3-year time period. It takes longer than that. Okay, yes. After
but
3 years,
the
I should
Chiefs look
probably
good.
be fine. Yeah, they do look good. That Mahomes
Tyreek
kid,
Hill,
I don't know about him.
Really.
There's part of me that's like, he might be my favorite quarterback, and then there's another part of me that's like, I would
Mahomes?
hate for him. Yeah, I would hate for him to be on my team.
Oh, I could see him having like a 6 interception game though.
Yeah, yes. But I could also see him throwing for 700 yards some games and running
Yeah.
for like 250.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not that many. That's a
I
lot
don't think the
to run for.
Steelers need to hurry Le'Veon Bell back. Their running back they have right now seems pretty good.
They always do this. They
So-
always start bad. Roethlisberger looks terrible. They tell everybody to chill out. They always make the playoffs. This always
Well, because
happens.
they're
with
their
the Steelers.
division. They
Yeah.
play like
Yeah.
easy teams.
Yeah,
So
they'll be fine.
Vikings and the Packers. The border battle,
The
as some
border
radio
battle.
station likes to say.
Cheese heads and Lambo. I don't know where that came from, but that's our new sounder for the Lambo thing. Okay, prediction. Who do you think is going to win? Adam.
And the Vikings, it's going to be 38-17.
Whoa.
I'm not. We might see Deshaun Kaiser at some point in the game.
Whoa. Side note. Kaiser in.
I mean, Rodgers going into a game against the Vikings defense already hobbled. It's probably not a good sign.
No, it's not a good place for him to be. That's for sure. It's dangerous. Dangerous in there. I am going to go the Vikings 28, Green Bay 21. I feel like the Vikings will hold them. I don't think they're going to blow them out. I just can't. After watching
division game,
and Aaron
usually
Rodgers
close.
is he won't
Lambeau.
even he won't let it. He'll make sure it's close. I hate it, but he's so good. Drives me crazy. And also, can we talk for a second about Green Bay Packers and their spoiled quarterback? It's like 30 years of just amazing
I
quarterback.
don't know. In the
play.
80s, they didn't really have anybody, but we didn't. We weren't around then.
Yeah,
so.
good call. All right, 20 years then. Like,
And Bart Starr, yeah. So
that's
more than
disgusting.
half of their existence, they've had a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah, garbage.
The Vikings have had like 30 quarterbacks during that time period. So same thing.
Dan Barrera was talking today about a game against Chicago where Sean Salisbury and Rich Gannon were the quarterbacks. I was like, goof. And that was before Rich Gannon was like good. He didn't get good until later on.
Rich Gannon, he was drafted by the Vikings.
Yeah. And so that was his like for whatever, I don't know, but it was just like, ugh, this team and their quarterbacks. Not anymore. Kirk Cousins gonna save the day. You
Hey, what?
Vike that, Adam? You Vike
2 years
you
ago.
Vike that.
2 years ago, Sean Hill was the Week 1 starter for the Vikings. That wasn't
Yeah.
too long ago.
That's a good call. Sean Hill. My, how the time flies. Ugh. That's terrifying. All right. I mean, what else do you got? Predictions are in. Everything. I mean, 38, that's a lot of points to score, Adam, but if that's where you want to go with your prediction, I'll let you
Dalvin
go.
Cook is going to have a big day.
All right. Also writing down Cook. Big
Packers
day.
never seen.
Okay. I'm nervous, man. I'm nervous. I think they might
Sweet.
lose this game.
It's week 2. You're nervous?
I'm always nervous, man. I'm a Vikings fan. Did you hear me talk about the punter a second ago? Come on.
Hey, Carlson made all his kicks.
He did. He looked okay. Won't say good. He looked okay.
I think he started to aim. I think he aimed right yesterday on the field goal, so it would curve in to the left.
See, it's like golfing. You don't do that
Yeah.
because then you'll start kicking them the way
the
you're
right.
supposed to. Yeah, and then you'll miss still. So just stick with whatever works, Carlson.
We'll
No, I
see.
thought he was
Could
good.
be-
He was good. It was never scary when he was out.
5 touchbacks. So, it's good. We'll see.
Gonna need
To be
more from the
continued.
punter, though. Yep. All right, buddy. I will. We'll see you next week.
Mhm.
Skull
Sunday.
Vikes. Sunday. Less than a week.
after the game.
After the game, live stream. Promise there will be 2 voices.
Both of us.
Both of us talking instead of me and the very, very loud band that was out here all day on Sunday.
All right. It's good when you have kids.
Oh man, it was. And not only like it was super loud, and then they had like flashy, so it was like a strobe light in my house, like until
Nice.
10:30 at night. It was incredible. But they look like they had a really good time.
Whatever.
Yeah, is what it is. But yeah, so anyways, my bad on the live stream. Hopefully 2 sets of voices on that next week.
All right. Skull.
Skull Vikes.